what Esau did in this modern day and time, from the Renaissance, pretty much from the slavery, man.
Right.
But what about the Greeks and the Romans, man? What about all the blood that he spilled then, man? That's just now. What about back then? What about what Esau did back then?
Yeah.
Of all the blood he's been spilling throughout the ages, man.
And even going back to
Can
Babylon.
you imagine that? And he's got to pay for all of them. When he's getting the kingdom, all that blood that he spilled is going to come upon his own head.
Yep.
So these Edomites walking around, they've got no idea of the slaughtering that they're going to have to experience.
Yeah. And that's why, and I don't cut you too, brother. I'm going to let you speak. But I just want to say this, and this is, man, like I'm going to say, the Most High sees the handiwork of Esau, and we see it now. You know, dealing with the whole soil situation, because that shows you right there that what the Lord is doing, the Lord is revealing this man overall by showing these articles and what he used to do. And I was kind of a bit upset when I read the article. I was a little bit on the upset side, you know. But I mean, I wasn't upset as in like you know, almost crying, but it just kind of pained me to the heart to actually see that and read the article on that, to show you how you know how dark this matter really is.
Yeah.
He took it that far to build up to where he's at right now, and this is why I can understand why they say you have to forget, and you have to forget, because if we go back, then it's just
Dark.
It's dark.
It's dark, man.
It's dark and ugly, and they don't want to be represented as dark and ugly people, because the way you study a nation, you study their history. Once you study their history, then you know their you know their character, and the scripture shows you everything.
Yeah.
Right? Please get me that. That's why when you get into the scriptures, you know who everybody is. You know what nations what. You know what kind of attributes and personality they have.
Yeah.
So you don't walk around all naive and deceived and believing in the hype. Okay, because there's no hype to believe. The truth of the matter is you have nations, and every nation has their attribute. And the attribute of Esau is a very grudgy, dark one. Okay, they have a very dark personality.
Yeah.
Hence is why they were able to destroy the earth the way they destroyed the earth. Hence is why they're able to go into this third world nuclear war. Okay, you have to have a dark, negative, destructive spirit to create missiles, man. Which, I mean, the Most High kind of worked in their mind to create such a thing and to enhance the sword so they can destroy themselves. But the point being is Esau did too much dirty work for just us to forget. We're not going to forget about that, right? And any jig that forgets about what happened to their people, man, is really because they're really weak inside. They can't deal with what had happened, and because it's upsetting. It's very upsetting. But you got to deal with it and know who you're dealing with. Yeah, that's how you get to know who your enemy is, by researching the history.
Yeah.
Like when you go for an interview, right? When you go for an interview, or you go apply for a job, the job is going to make sure to see what your history record is in your previous job.
Yeah.
Because they're breaking down who you are if you're applicable for this job.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be dealing with a group of people, right, you have to know who you're dealing with. You have to study that nation. But we already know the attributes of the nations. We already know.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to apply for them government jobs and them sort of security jobs and those police officers, they give you in-depth background check.
Yes.
You got a small background check, then you got an in-depth background check.
Yeah.
Where everything from you as young, they will bring it all up.
From where you are now.
And you might have got acquitted for something that still would be on your record.
Exactly.
You know?
So people judge people in these jobs based on your record. So it's the same thing with what we got to do. We got to look at Esau according to his record and according to what the Lord created him to be. So then that way we don't get fooled, we don't get confused as to what's going on. You see? And this is why we can forwardly say that these people are the evil that the Bible speaks about. All right? We can tell them straight up front that you're the devil, and they will have to agree. Even if they don't want to agree, but their subconscious mind agrees with what if I was to say that to them. You know? Go on, bro. And the whole wide world is waking up to them being the devil anyway. Go on, bro.
That's a good point, because everything they've done to get where they are, most of it's done in secret.
Yes.
So, so they'll on one hand they're doing things behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But on to the outside world, they make themselves out to be, the heroes.
Yeah.
They're doing everything for the planet. They're doing everything for the
For
community.
humanity.
Humanity. That's the word.
Morality, yeah.
And then can I just read this quickly?
Yeah, go on.
Psalm
go on.
64.
And then
It says. Psalm 64 says. Psalm 64 and 2 says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword,
Right.
and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
And when you really delve the society as well, it's a very oppressive society, and it's gotten to the point where everybody's now feeling that push down. Everybody's feeling that, but it was just Jake feeling that oppression. And now it's gotten to the point where the rich, they're keeping all of the wealth for themselves. They're keeping it all for themselves because they know that the party's going to be over real soon. Okay, they know that the party's going to be over, and they're looking to keep as much wealth as they can. And thereby, what's going to happen is more people are going to protest because people are not getting their just due. And what I mean by the rich, I'm talking about the rich that run these corporate jobs that people depend on. Okay, it's going to get to the point where most of these jobs that people work on, they're going to be closed out. And as I'm saying that, you have businesses that were known for centuries that are being closed out, that are going out of business. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, let's read back on that. Let's go back.
And just to say as well, because you've got the 5 richest people in this country have more wealth than the lower class people to the poor in the whole of the country, man. So this shows the gap in riches, man. So you've got people, as we've seen a lot tonight, just sitting on the streets begging for money. And there's people with billions of pounds. And what are they doing, man?
Yep, they're keeping it for themselves. So it's because you used to have a middle class, various different classes. Now it's just it's either you poor or you rich now. That's how bad it's gotten. Why? Because the rich, they're hoarding all of the wealth to themselves.
And if that was really what they're about, they say they're about, they would be distributing their money, man.
Yeah.
They could easily distribute some money and still have plenty of wealth, man.
Yeah.
Let me finish this off. Psalm 64 and 5, it says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?"
And that's what Esau is doing. They're finding out ways on how they can rise up against the righteous man. And this is why they're going to start pushing this film out, which used to be called Asher, but they've recalled it as St. Paul, and they're taking the Northern Kingdom out of there to push out this narrative of the black Hebrew Israelites. But what Esau's doing, Esau's going according to prophecy, because prophecy states that the church of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua will be persecuted. And it also states in the Old Testament that when they come up against us as a flood, then the Lord will lift up a standard against them. You see what I mean? So everything's going according to our plan. I mean, yeah, it looks terrible in the situation that we're in, but everything's flowing according to the way we want it to go. Because what's on our side is time and prophecy. That's the only thing we pretty much got. But that's all we pretty much need. That covers everything. Time and prophecy covers all of the gaps. So all we got to do is wait and just be in order as we're supposed to be and keep doing what we're doing. And before you know it, eventually, man, this kingdom is going down the toilet. All right? It's actually damn near down the toilet by the looks of it going, brother. You finished with that one, right?
Couple more verses.
Okay, read that. We're going to get to that.
Right, so verse 6 says, "They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search,
Right.
both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep."
Yeah, and this is why you have all of these different groups of, you have all of these groups of sexuality, because that was Esau coming with all kinds of wickedness to pretty much, disturb the people, have the people to pretty much kill themselves eventually, because Esau wants to get rid of billions of people off the face of the earth. So what does Esau do? He sprays chemtrails in the air with all kind of chemicals, such as chemicals, but also metals in it like barium, aluminum, and the likes. And this is why, mercury, and this is why people all over the world in this time, in this day and age, people are catching cancer like it's going out of style, because the world is filled with all kind of chemicals, and plus the food has been tampered with as well. So that's Esau's way of depleting, 7.5 billion people off the face of the earth. Okay, but he's ultimately gonna do it by those missiles.
The place is folly, man.
You know, so read on.
Yeah.
Folly.
Verse 7 it says, "But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow.
Right.
Suddenly shall they be wounded."
And see, Esau knows in the back of their mind, they know that something is gotta give, and that's why they ride on that thing, because they're really depressed. They're actually depressed. Somebody get me Lamentations of the 4th chapter. And I mean, you know, when it comes to them, they might as well enjoy themselves. They might as well, because doesn't it say in the scripture? Let's get the scripture on that.
Yeah, got that.
YMCA.
Yeah, YMCA in the kingdom, your ass is going to be a slave, man. Go on, bro.
Should I start from verse 21?
Yeah.
Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of... Actually, no, sorry.
No, that's the one I
That's
wanted.
the one, okay,
Yeah.
found it. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz.
Right, that dwellers in the land of Uz. Go on.
The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
So what is that cup? That cup is referring to the curses that they're going to drink of. Because we've already drunk of that cup. Now they're going to drink that cup. Once the sins of Zion have been discovered and done with, the Lord is going to discover the sins of Edom. So what does it say in that same scripture? Let's read that.
And it says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished,
Right.
O daughter of Zion.
Right.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
So in other words, after this society is done and destroyed, we're going to be reigning forever and ever. We're going to have an everlasting kingdom according to Daniel's 7th chapter, because the Israelites are going to be back in power again. All right? So let's read that exact verse, brother.
And it
One
says
time.
in verse 21, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished,
Right.
O daughter of Zion.
Right, old daughter of Zion. What does it mean by the old daughter of Zion? Is it talking about the actual daughters of Zion? No, this is talking about the nation. Because the Lord likens Israel as a delicate, comely woman. Jeremiah the 6th chapter, I believe it is. So that's the daughter of Zion he's talking about. Okay, the nation. So let's read that again one more time so I can recap my train of thought.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Right, and he will no longer carry thee away into captivity. We were carried away into captivity during the Assyrian Empire. We were carried away into captivity during the Babylonian Empire. We were carried away into captivity during the Medo-Persian Empire. Right, and we were carried away into captivity towards Esau. Okay, you had the ones of us that came from Europe. You had the ones of us that came from West Africa, and we were carried away into the Americas to serve slavery. Okay, and to also serve slavery down in England as well. So the Lord said that He will no longer carry thee away into captivity. So this is our last captivity. Once this joker falls apart, this empire, we're gonna be on the top tier. All right, we're gonna be in the top tier position on this earth, and this is why Yahweh Shah has to come back to set up His government, which we are part of that government, the house of David. We don't.
And it says, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
Now He's gonna visit the nation of Edom, their iniquities and what they have done. So let's read on.
He will discover thy sins.
As He's doing right now. Go on.
That's the end of the chapter.
But it says rejoice, right? Rejoice, O ye Edom, that dwellers in the land of Uz.
Yeah, that's at the top. That's back in verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Right, so it's best that these Edomites rejoice and live as they are. Get drunk, act like a bunch of idiots. Because the party is about to be up. You can feel it in the air. You can see it on the news. You can see the pride in the people. Okay?
Yeah, hey, that's a spray. I was thinking off.
Yeah,
She's drinking the wine bottle of the serpent.
yeah, but though, brothers, we gotta forget about them, man. You know? Because what they're doing is I'm saying forget, but I'm talking about it now. Because what they're doing, they're trying to find a man. They should have did that years ago when they were younger, man.
Yeah.
They're too old. You know?
Busted down.
They bust it down, man. Ain't no man worth a damn want that, man. Go on, bro. Let's probably got kids and all.
And it says, rejoice and be
And
glad.
that's why they talking loud, because they want attention. Go on, brother.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom,
Right.
that dwellest in the land of Uz.
Yeah, man. So that's why they doing what they doing. YNCA and all of that nonsense. Getting drunk because they have to rejoice. Because Esau knows, man. You better believe Esau knows in the back of their mind, man, that they're going to get judged for what they've done. And this is why they don't really want us out here to teach this word. This is why they want to get us off of you. They want to get the Israelites off of YouTube. Why? Because we're bringing the history to them. We're continually putting the mirror in their face all the time, and they don't want to have to see that mirror. They want to go about it like that's the past, and this is a new time and generation. No, what's done in the past is what's going to meet you for tomorrow, man. Whatever you did yesterday is what's going to meet you for tomorrow. What does it say in the Apocrypha? It says that judgment is like an unto a ring. So whatever you do is going to come around and bite you in the butt. Okay? And that's exactly what Esau's going to experience, man. And that's why these lower level peon Edomites, they're experiencing the curse of Israel. They're on opioids, they're on all kind of drugs to get away from reality because they used to do pretty good. They used to have the best jobs, you know, according to them. And now they're living in pretty much in an oppressed situation now. Why? Because simply the rich Edomites, they're keeping all of their wealth for themselves. And they're not hiring these crackers like they used to. So they're feeling it now. And that's why even down here in London, England, there's a lot of them that are homeless now. Right? And I remember, what is it, man, a year and a half ago, we was in Waterloo. And this one Edomite came down, and he said he was homeless, and this guy used to run a business. He used to run a business. So how many Edomites that used to run businesses are homeless on the street? It's got to be more now. Go on, brother.
So like I did a video the other day on some website called Statista, and the statistics show that 62.7% of so-called white people in London are homeless.
That's a lot. That's too much.
62.
That's too much.
62% of Edomites were homeless.
In London alone.
That's too much.
Yeah, but when you walk around and what do you see now? What you see is Edomites on the streets.
Yeah.
I don't see no one else but
Yeah.
Edomites on the streets, especially where I come from.
So there's a lot of Edomites homeless. There's a lot of them, and that's a lot of Edomites.
That's
in
why
their
that's
own
a spirit.
kingdom.
That is a spirit.
This is
So there's something revealed right there. You see? It was revealed. That's why you gotta be careful when you speak out, brother.
But if you look at it, he's an elderly Edomite, man.
Yeah.
Like, he shouldn't no way
In that situation.
It's like what you said about
Oh yeah,
man who had the business, right? He must have had, when he had that business and he was doing well, he must have had friends
homeless man.
like their own businesses doing well.
Yeah.
But they don't look after each other like that.
No, they don't. They don't know.
They don't do
Yeah.
that, bro. They don't take. See, in our kingdom, yeah. If you look in the law, there was like a law where if you had like a vineyard, you glean your vineyard, meaning you gather grapes or wheat or whatever, but you wouldn't glean it thoroughly to the corners.
Yeah.
You'd leave it out for the fatherless,
Yeah.
poor, you know, so even if you were homeless, you were good, man. You were good, but you see, you should, no one was begging in Israel.
Nope.
You shouldn't have beggars, man.
Especially
Scripture
during
says
the time of King
it's
Solomon.
better to die. There's scriptures on that. It's better to die than to live a beggar's life. You're begging at another man's table and stuff like that, man.
Right.
You know, everybody was good in Israel. That in Esau don't take care of his own
People. But that goes to show you how much the Most High hates Esau.
Yeah.
Because even their own don't take care of themselves.
And I say
Go on.
they show you that I think all the brothers have seen Trading Places, right? With Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And you see when Dan Aykroyd's character, they switch it on him, right? So they make him go broke. And when he goes to see all his rich friends that he used to hang with,
Here's on
they basically banished him, man.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want you around here because you know you're not with us. No, you ain't got no money, no.
Yeah.
And you know you've done all these supposedly done all these things, so we don't want to know you.
Yeah, we're in a business.
That's like Esau
Benjamin
does.
said.
That's how these companies, they'll smile in your face. They'll smile in your face. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But as soon as something bad happens, you see how they start treating you.
Right.
You see, as soon as something bad happens, you trip up or you make an error in the company, you see how they start turning their talking shit about you behind your back. You see how they are, bro. You know, it's all a facade, man. Esau's a natural deceiver. character of people is all deception, man.
Right. And it's like me and you was talking about as we were walking down here, because if society is saying, right, that we live in an equal, if society is saying we're all equal, right, then shouldn't the nations that live in London get the same equal opportunity? Jake been here for as long as ever, since the Windrush days, right? The predominant, most of them anyway. How come you don't see no Jakes owning any real estate around these areas?
We should own them more than anybody because we were the ones that helped to build it.
Right.
So we'd have more rights to this place than any other nation.
Right. But you don't see no Jake living down here. So the whole idea of everything's equal, it's BS, and it's an insult to one's intelligence too. You're insulting because one minute you're saying it's like they're willfully insulting us because they're saying, well, everything's equal, but when we come down here, what do we see? We don't see Jakes here. We don't see even the remnant of the Northern Kingdom living in these areas. Because you got a couple of Northern Kingdom brothers that live in London as well. You don't see them live in these kind of areas. But when you go to the other side of the road, if you go, Salakia, when you go on the other side of the tracks, what do you see? You see Jake bugging out, talking to themselves, and drinking themselves to oblivion, drugs. That's what you see. And the reason why Jake is doing that because Jake is being oppressed. Jake is purposely being oppressed. You see? So there should be Jakes all around here, just like there's Edomites. If they're saying that we live in an equal society, so what are they doing? They're lying. They're bullshit. That's what it is. Excuse my language. I'm trying to cut down on the cursing because even both my parents said, you know, you're doing good with the Bible, but I don't want you to you know, be saying curse words. You know what I'm saying? But it just comes out sometimes. But I have to obey what they say, because what does the scripture say? Honor thy father, thy mother, that your days be prolonged. You know, so I have to cut it down. Go on, bro.
This is Matthew 7 verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Yeah.
Men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles.
Okay.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit,
Right.
but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Right. And we see the fruits of Esau. It's clear. We don't have to go by what they say. We just got to go by what they're doing and how they've structured the society, how it is. You know, because if Esau is really all about forgetting the past and making things better, then Jake would be in these ends too. Because we helped them build this up. The slaves actually built Great Britain. So if Esau is really about forgetting about the past and putting away with the wrong that he has done, then we should be in these ends. The same kind of opportunities they got, we should be in these ends. But then at the same time, I have to go back and say that Esau is in his best interest to do that. Because if we do get an equal share opportunity in this kingdom, we're going to take over this Babylon, just like how we took over Rome. So it's in Esau's best interest to make that happen. So let's read Lamentations, brother, the one you just read before. That's what they got to do. They got to rejoice, man. Because once the party's up, baby boy. Go on.
This is Lamentations chapter 4 verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz.
Right.
The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
Right, so they have to rejoice. They have to rejoice. They have to do what they got to do because the party is going to be up real soon. Okay? All over Europe, you have people protesting. France, they're protesting. Spain, they're protesting. Down here, they're protesting. Riotings are happening all over Europe. So that just shows you the degradation of where we're at in this world, the degradation of the society. Go on, brother.
This is verse 18.
Yeah.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
Right. So we're the representation of the good tree. Because what we're bringing to you, it may look like it's bad from the outside looking in, but this is a good work that we're doing.
Right.
This is righteousness because we're standing up for the Most High.
Right.
Yahweh Ba'al Shem Yahushua. That's what we're standing up for. So it's a good thing. But in the eyes of many, it's like a bad thing. But when we're dealing with Esau as a whole, he's likened onto that corrupt tree. Now, this ain't really talking about Esau. This is talking about the false prophets back in those days. But we're just using this for Esau.
Right.
Because Esau's actions, it tells you who he is.
Right. You know them by their fruit.
You know them by their fruit, their works.
Right, the works.
You can't go by when they tell you, oh yeah, you know, everything's cool. You know, let the past be the past, and they shake your hand. You can't go by that. You gotta go by what they've been doing in the past and what they're doing now.
That's what
Because see, the past always reflects the future anyway. Go on, brother.
That's what they say. Your actions speak louder than your words.
Right.
So that's scriptural. That's in the scriptures.
That's in the scriptures.
You should know them by their actions, bro, by their works, by their fruit, bro. You know, you shall know them, man. Because people say one thing,
but they can do another.
Their actions say something else. So it shows you that person's full of shit, innit?
Yeah.
You know?
Of course they're full of shit because what? It's always, we got to remember World War One, we got to remember 9/11.
And the so-called Holocaust too, that didn't even happen.
But when it comes to remember what they done to Jake, they don't want to remember that.
They don't remember that.
They don't want to remember. You got to forget about that.
Yep.
You know, that's why Jake is forgiven Esau, man. If Jake didn't forgive Esau, Jake's would be doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're the last remnant of Jakes that haven't forgiven Esau. We don't forgive Esau.
And Esau,
the Most High hasn't forgiven. There's no repentance for Esau.
Yeah.
So why should we forgive Esau? The Most High gave no repentance to Esau.
Yeah.
We don't forgive him. That's why we're reminding him of what he did.
Yeah.
Then just the righteous man shall stand up in great boldness. So we don't forgive Esau.
And
that's 2/3 of our people are forgiven Esau, man.
Yep.
And they've fallen for the okie, the whole let bygones be bygones, right, man.
Right.
And the other
Don't work that way.
They say, you know, if we know we don't want to be like them. You know, we're better than them.
Yeah, exactly. If we like that means we'll stick to their level.
Right.
That bullshit, man. The scripture said the Lord is what is he will not acquit the wicked.
Right.
Acquit meaning you won't let it go. It won't let it go past.
Right.
He said it will not at all let acquit the wicked. Man.
Yeah. You won't let it all quit the wicked. He's not gonna let them go. He's not gonna let it go.
Get away with nothing.
Exactly.
And that's something that Esau has a problem with. He just wants Jake to just be docile, just be sheep-minded, and just to be oblivious to the evil works that they have done. And they can't stand that there's a very few of us that are standing up on our feet and letting them know what they've done. And this is why they want to get rid of us on, I keep saying this, they want to get rid of us on YouTube. Because every video that comes up is always in condemnation against Esau. It's always condemnation. And it's pretty much the people that run Google. They're the ones that's listening to this. And they're rich beyond measure. Okay? So they're hearing their judgment. So just imagine you being rich, right? And you're hearing what's going to happen to you in the future. In the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, well, man, maybe these guys may have a point. So when that thought comes in the back of your mind, that's when you start trying to find ways to do away with the truth, as they are. Go on, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 34.
You know, brother, this is actually a good spot.
From verse 7, and it says, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness.
Right, and go on.
For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance,
Yep.
and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
Right, for the controversy of Zion. And this is the exact reason why the world is going to experience this nuclear war. Because of the controversy and the dirt that was done onto Zion. Who is Zion? The Zionists is the so-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American Indian. We're the people of Zion. Now you may have a group of people in Israeli land. They may claim to be the Israelites, but they're not the Israelites because they don't fit the prophecies of being the Israelites. What they've done is they've converted to the ways of the Israelites in the 8th century AD, when there was a war that was going on between the Christians and the Muslims. They converted, okay? They identified themselves with being the Jews, but they're not the actual Jews. They stole our identity and claimed our identity for themselves and got our land too.
Quick precept up.
Go on, brother.
Nahum 1:3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked.
Right. Because it seems like the Lord is letting this thing go down, but what the Lord is doing, the Lord is building upon a case against Esau. And within that being the case, what the Lord is doing, the Lord is fulfilling his prophecy by using Esau. So once the case has been built and the prophecies are being fulfilled, like the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip comes in effect, then it's going to be time for those nuclear missiles to rain on the earth. Give me the scripture where it talks about how, what is it? The Lord will rain snares upon him. Somebody give me that.
finish this, though?
Yeah, finish that. Yeah.
Verse 18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. Go on, brother.
So every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Right. It's hewn down and cast into the fire. So this kingdom is going to be cast into the fire. That's where it's going. There's no ifs or buts or maybe. There's no maybe at all. It's going that way. And the elite power structures of them, they know this. They know this, and this is why they're trying to find any form of way to do away with truth or to do away with righteousness. Okay? This is why they're trying to corrupt the young people to change their agendas and all of that. Because what they want to do is they want to do away with righteousness or the way of nature as a whole and try and reestablish themselves again and reestablish another doctrine to proliferate around the world. And that's the doctrine of Satan. But Satan is working for the Most High. So damn you do, damn you don't, Esau. The time is up, buddy. Go on, brother.
I think this is on you. Psalms 11.
Yeah.
I'll start at
Psalms 11,
5. It says, the Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence his soul hateth.
Right.
It says, verse 6, upon the wicked he shall rain snares.
Right, upon the wicked he shall rain snares. What are those snares that he's going to rain upon them? Those missiles. You see, so when he brings in that new world order and that chip is being initiated, right, then those snares are going to be rained upon his eyes. Oh, there's another snare too. He's going to rise up against us, the persecution. That's going to be another snare. So once that takes place, once he does these kind of things, that's when the Lord is going to rise up against them. And that's what we want. We want Esau to do what he got to do. And we want Esau to bring this goddamn ship. So once he goes and pursues us and brings that ship in, we've already won. Okay? We've already won the game of chess along with the Most High. Go on, brother.
It says, upon the wicked shall he rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest.
Right.
This shall be the portion of their cup.
Right, this should be the portion of their cup. What is it saying? Brimstones and fire, right? This should be the portion of their cup. So that's what he's going to rain upon them. Just like what? Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah? You literally had brimstones that came and pelted the city. But what's going to be interchangeable with those brimstones? The ICBM, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, which will go from one continent to the other continent, hit ground zero, kapoosh. Okay? Simply put. And that's what's going to happen in the future. That's exactly what's happening. It's going to happen in the future.
Preacher?
Go on, brother.
This is Matthew 24 from verse 33. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is there,
Right.
even at the doors.
What are the things that we know to see, to know it is at the end? The signs and wonders that's explained in this Bible. And this is something that the Christian churches couldn't tell you because they don't know it. And if they do know it, they're going to hide it because they have to build in their pockets. Okay? We don't do this to build on our pockets. We got money already. We do this because we do this of the bottom of our heart, man. And it's really because we're led with the Spirit of the Lord. We're inspired by this word. Go on, brother.
Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled.
Right, so what generation was Yahushua talking about, if I'm correct?
It would be this one, wherever it comes.
No, I'm saying it was Yahushua
Oh
speaking?
yeah, I was just speaking.
Yeah, so what did he mean by the generation shall not pass until all be fulfilled? He meant this generation. So every little thing that's written in this book, right, is going to come to pass, and then it's going to be the end. As we just read, the Lord is not going to at all acquit the wicked. The Most High is not going to let Esau just get him scot-free and then set up his new world order. No. All things will be fulfilled to bring his demise, to bring their demise. Let me put it that way. Right? So when you stick to the scriptures, man, and this is why brothers have to stick with the scriptures. Okay, because we can all talk and speak about things